This is Ferrari's new Formula One car for the 2026 season. The SF-26, the machine built for the next era of F1. A clean sheet design, a brand new regulation set that rewrites everything, and a Ferrari team that desperately needs to prove itself after a disappointing 2025. Because in Formula One, results are what matter, and Ferrari hasn't won a championship in almost 2 decades. Ferrari officially pulled the covers off the SF-26 on January 23rd at its Fiorano headquarters, complete with an updated red and white gloss livery and an enthusiastic group of tifosi cheering trackside. This car isn't just another Ferrari. It's the first Ferrari designed under the all-new 2026 F1 regulations, which dictate lighter cars, different aerodynamics, and a radically changed hybrid power unit concept. The carbon fiber chassis abandons the last era's ground effect aerodynamics in favor of cleaner, sleeker lines and a more efficient architecture that prioritizes overall balance. The power unit, now featuring a boosted electrical component, the removal of the MGUH, and a heavier reliance on sustainable fuel, is more integrated than ever with the chassis. In simpler terms, this is a brand new F1 car for a brand new era, and Ferrari is hoping it finally gives them the performance leap they couldn't find in 2025. Ferrari's SF-26 made its first public laps at the Fiorano demonstration event, driven by Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. There was a bit of confusion online after Hamilton's run appeared to end with the car sitting on track, but that was planned. This was purely due to strict mileage limits on demonstration runs. Ferrari completed what it needed to and stopped deliberately so it didn't exceed the allowed distance. Leclerc confirmed there were no major problems during the shakedown.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this day every year. However, it's the kind of days where the main target is to kind of check that everything is working properly and that there are no big problems, which was the case today. So that is a positive. But in terms of performance, in terms of feeling, it's too early to say.
Even if the weather wasn't ideal for representative running. So yes, Ferrari is still working on the SF-26, but the foundation is intact and ready for the first official preseason test. Hamilton, who struggled last season after joining Ferrari, spoke openly after the shakedown about how the experience reignited his love for racing. He described seeing the fans at Fiorano as something I'll never get used to, the heartbeat of this team.
Well, the emotions, I think, just waking up here at Ferrari is just... it's very, very, very special. And I think, obviously I've been here the past week or so, and seeing the car coming together.
That's significant. Hamilton's Ferrari contract runs through 2026, and after a winless 2025 where he failed to reach a podium, confidence was fragile. His passion is unmistakable, and his performance will be one of the biggest storylines this season. Can the SF-26 be his car to bounce back, or will Ferrari still struggle to unlock performance? Only time and laps will tell. Ferrari has repeatedly said this initial SF-26 is Spec A, essentially a base car that gives them data, reliability, and flexibility before fast upgrades arrive. The plan? Barcelona testing next week, several updates before Bahrain tests full-blown development package heading into the Australian GP. That approach shows Ferrari isn't chasing raw concept gains right away. They're chasing data and understanding first. In an era of extremely tight build deadlines, that's pragmatic, maybe even necessary. But in Formula One, too conservative can be just as risky as too aggressive. Ferrari is betting on controlled growth instead of an all-or-nothing gamble. We won't rehash every detail from before, but there are some design trends worth spotlighting. The SF-26 features much cleaner lines and a floor edge design that aggressively manages disrupted airflow from the tires. Ferrari's approach is very different from Mercedes W17, which registered over 200 kilometers of demonstration running at Silverstone, showing how contrasting philosophies could shape early performance. Ferrari's narrower airbox opening paired with larger side pods shows an emphasis on managing hot airflow carefully, again prioritizing stability and balance over radical concepts. Pushrod suspension front and rear, a layout Ferrari hasn't adopted consistently in recent years, signals a return to principles that might benefit reliability and load distribution. None of this screams revolutionary, but it might scream dependable development platform, which could pay dividends later in the season. Ferrari wasn't the only team making headlines. Their rivals Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team also revealed their 2026 car, the W17, and it hit the track for a significant significant amount of running, logging over 200 kilometers during its debut Shakedown. That puts Mercedes ahead of Ferrari in terms of raw running data so far, especially compared to Ferrari's much shorter Fiorano demo. And the W17 isn't just about mileage. There's been news that Mercedes' lead car designer, the architect behind much of its hybrid-era dominance, will step down mid-season, handing over responsibilities to the next generation of designers. That's a massive shift, one that could shape Mercedes' development trajectory throughout 2026. This puts Ferrari and Mercedes on different paths. Mercedes with extensive early data and experienced design continuity. Ferrari with flexibility and adaptability at the core of its concept. This contrast will define much of pre-season analysis. Not every part of Ferrari's launch was universally loved. A number of fans took aim at the aggressive placement and size of the HP sponsor logo on the car, saying it clashes with Ferrari's classic aesthetics. Whether you love it or hate it, that effect shows how visual branding still matters, especially for a team with as much history and emotion as Ferrari. It's a reminder, fewer things divide opinion in F1 faster than a Ferrari livery. The SF-26 is also a duel inside its own garage. Hamilton went through a trying 2025 with Ferrari, struggling to adapt and consistently trailing his teammate. Leclerc, meanwhile, looks sharp, technically astute, and possibly ready to lead another charge. Lewis Hamilton is set to work with a new race engineer for the 2026 season, after Riccardo Adami was moved into a different technical role within Ferrari's structure. Reports suggest Ferrari have identified former McLaren lead trackside performance engineer Cédric Michel Grosjean, known for his work with Oscar Piastri and extensive experience in performance engineering, as the prime candidate to take over Hamilton's pit wall duties this season, potentially bringing fresh technical collaboration. If Ferrari's car becomes a genuine championship contender, it will likely be more due to synergy between driver and car than to pure mechanical brilliance. This is just the beginning. Barcelona preseason test is next. Bahrain tests after that. Then the season kicks off in Melbourne on March 8th. Those tests will yield critical data, not for styling or livery reaction, but for real pace, balance, and performance. And while Ferrari's Spec A SF26 seems solid, what matters most is how fast upgrades arrive and whether Ferrari can integrate them faster than rivals. So what is Ferrari's SF26? It's not a perfect car. It's not a fully developed championship weapon yet. It's a foundation, a baseline, a machine built for data, learning, and evolution. And in a year as open, unpredictable, and regulation-shaken as 2026, adaptation might be the ultimate advantage. Ferrari just made its first statement. Now the paddock will see how fast it can write the second and the third.